Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. For today I wanted to talk about my experience with cognitive behavioural therapy, or CBT for short. This is something that I've been doing for a little while now and I just wanted to share my experience with it so far. I am undergoing currently long-term CBT, so I probably will do another kind of follow-up video on this a little bit later on, probably going into 2019 now, but I just wanted to do my experience so far, so hopefully it will encourage more of you to go to cognitive behavioural therapy or counselling or something along those lines, because I want to help people with mental health. Just before we get into today's video, if you hear a noise in the background, our fire is on. It is so freezing cold. It is a cold December morning. I'm freezing my bum off. If you guys don't know, our boiler is actually broke. Yeah, it is so cold in this house right now. So that's what that noise is. But going back to the video, so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I've got some notes here on my phone just so that I talk about everything that I wanted to talk about in terms of CBT. I think the first step with trying to treat anxiety, depression, OCD, any kind of mental health problem, is admitting to yourself that you have issues, you have bad mental health, and you need to get it sorted. And that is something that took me a very long time to admit to myself. I was just like, it'll be fine, but it's not fine. It gets to the point where it really starts to control your life, and that's when you really do need to do something, and you need to admit to yourself, like, this is a problem and it needs sorting out, because it's just going to continue to develop and get worse and worse and worse over time, and that's something that you really don't want to do. Trust me on that one. It's not a good place to be, and that is a lot easier said than done. I know, I've been in that situation, but it really does help, and it makes you understand yourself a little bit more once you've come to terms with your bad mental health. And it really, I think, in a way, like, it made me more eager to solve my bad mental health or try to, get on this road to recovery, because I knew that, I had problems. I'm currently working with a CBT place in my local area, and basically I was recommended this specific company because I finally had the courage to speak out about my problems to my doctor, and she recommended me to check out this company's website, to check out all the stuff that they do. She gave me the phone number for them as well, and basically just really encouraged me to refer myself, have a good look into what this company does. CBT is very different to counselling, and I am someone who has gone through counselling before and it just has not worked out. I don't like counselling, it's just not for me. But bear in mind, if you haven't tried counselling, it may be something that might help you. We're all different, of course, after all, One day I just finally did it. My doctor was like, once you do it, you will not regret it. And that's exactly how I feel at this moment in time with my experience with CBT so far. So basically, eventually I did refer myself. I referred myself online, and then what happened was, after I referred myself, they sent me a letter, and they also gave me a call, and they arranged a time to have what's called a telephone assessment. And I was really kind of worried about this telephone assessment, but it's something that you definitely should not worry about. I had my telephone assessment. I was actually on the phone for about an hour and 10 minutes. It was a very in-depth conversation. I didn't feel like I was being rushed at all. Basically, then what happens is that therapist at the end of the telephone assessment call gives you their recommendations on stages of treatment. Now, the specific CBT company that I am working with do their treatment in 3 different stages. They do low intensity courses, and normally they will start with low intensity courses and then build it up if it is necessary to the higher intensity courses. So they have the low intensity, the medium intensity, and then the high intensity therapy courses. I have just finished my experience on the low intensity course. Now, through my telephone assessment, my supporter, that's what you call them, like your supporter, but they're basically like a therapist who guides you through each kind of section of CBT. And, you know, I was in talks with my supporter for a very, very long time about how this is going to be a long-term treatment plan, because of how serious my symptoms are. One of them on the low intensity CBT courses was the online CBT course. It's like an online program. And to be quite honest, I was a little tiny bit like skeptical, because I was just like, well, how much can you really learn online? But it really surprised me in a very, very good way. You are given login details, and basically once you're all sorted and you're all set up on the program, it is a 6-week long course, and I basically was given modules which you can work through at your own pace, but it is recommended that you complete at least one module a week. And then also every week you have what's called a review with your supporter, where they will either give you a call or they will contact you online, and they'll just basically see if you're safe, if you need any more help. They make sure that you have loads of phone numbers. They make sure that you are well equipped with not just the CBTs number and details, but also everything else as well that you may possibly need. And the whole process was really easy. I worked through my modules at my own pace, and they even give you like extra modules to work through as well, if you know. So for example, I was struggling on sleep, so my supporter unlocked an extra additional module all about sleep. And also my supporter unlocked an additional module on relaxation, which I found very helpful as well. So there is loads of different stuff that I have learned, loads of different techniques, breathing techniques, and all of the modules. For example, there's one about managing worry, there's one about facing your fears, and all of the modules are very interesting, they're very helpful, and they really did help me, and I learned a lot in the space of the 6-week online program, a lot more than I thought I would. And so also every week you're given questionnaires to fill out, and these questionnaires are really important to fill out, because that's what monitors your mental health, your anxiety, any OCD, depression, all of that sort of stuff, and that's what kind of monitors how well the program is doing for you. And you have a personal journal on this online program, you have a mood monitor, which I use every single day. I upload things to my journal every day. I did all of that. And the thing is, I'm naturally a very open person anyway, but it really helps to be open with your supporter if you're going to do something like CBT and any other form of like counselling or anything to help your mental health, because the more that your supporter knows, the more that they can recommend things to help you. So opening up is really important, and opening up's not really a massive problem for me, but I know it is for a lot of other people who have bad mental health. The whole process was just really, really easy, and there's no other way to describe it. I felt very relaxed in doing it. I felt very happy doing it. My supporter through the online program was so incredibly helpful. She was lovely, she was caring, and she did her job amazingly. Like, I must admit, like, she was fantastic. Something massive just came through the letterbox. I don't know if you guys heard that at all. Yeah, my therapist made sure I understood everything, and if there was anything that I needed out of office hours, I could get in touch with these people, or I could get in touch with the actual CBT company that I'm working with, and it's all just this very lovely thing where it kind of restored my faith in humanity, to be quite honest with you guys. It was just a very nice experience. My supporter was lovely. Every single person that I've been in contact with through CBT so far has been amazing, and they're always looking for feedback as well, which I think is really fabulous. Next steps for me with my therapy is to continue with the therapy, but moving on from the low intensity treatment to the medium intensity treatment, which is moving on to more face-to-face type things. And it's great because my therapist company, they can meet me at my local doctor's or at a time and place that I want. As long as it's like 6 weekly sessions of face-to-face treatment, like that is the next step for me. So I am very nervous about that, but I am very much, you know, wanting to try it out. I want to be a happier, healthier person in terms of my mental health, and I feel like I've come a long way in a very short space of time, but you know, I have to have long-term CBT treatment plans. I guess what I'm trying to say with this whole video is you are not alone if you have bad mental health like I do. I always feel like it's really easy when you have bad mental health to cut yourself off from other people and to kind of reject help a little bit, and that's exactly what I did. And really, really, other people can't help you if you don't help yourself. And you know, I spoke about it with my GP, my doctor, and I would definitely say that if you're, you know, you think you may have problems with bad mental health, then you really need to go and talk to someone about it. And it took me years to get up the courage to talk about my mental health problems. Like, honestly, it did. But when you reach that point where you feel like you're able to talk about it with people, it really is an amazing feeling, and it's an amazing moment in your life where you're just like, I can talk about mental health and I'm not ashamed of it anymore. So please go and get help, whether it's counselling, whether it's the CBT type therapy stuff that I'm currently doing. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, click on that subscribe button. Thanks a lot for watching once again, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.